so I really love straights. My label want me to move back to LA. She say, lucky, I'm proud of you. My bitch like, nigga, don't even say thanks.
Alright, what's good YouTube? We're back with another video, and today I got for y'all another shot creator build. So this one is different from the one that I posted yesterday because this one is a two-way build. It can legit play defense and it has the stats to back it up. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, drop a like on this video, it'll help me out a lot. But let's get right into the video. So first off, you're picking point guard for this build. Second, you're going with the playmaking and shooting pie chart. It sounds weird, but that's what you're going with. Physical profile, you're picking speed on every build, almost anything outside of a big man. So for the finishing badges, we going with max driving layup, max driving dunk. You're gonna max out your shooting on the first two bars, and then on that third one you're gonna go with like an 83. You're gonna stop right there at 83, just enough for you to keep your 20 shooting badges. Okay, so like I told y'all, this is two-way for real. Playmaking, max both of those out. And then you're not going to touch post moves. Okay, now I know it shows me messing around with it, but you're maxing out both of those. Then on defense, you're maxing everything but interior defense, and I'm going to show y'all why in a second. So here, you end up with 9. On interior defense, you're just going to put up enough points to where you hit 10, and now you have a couple points left over. Now I'm doing this to show y'all, no matter where you put the points, nothing else goes up. So if you can fix this around to get 21 shooting, 20 playmaking if you want to. But even if you take off the 20, that extra point on playmaking, and add it to finishing, you can't get another shooting or finishing badge. So I just want to let y'all know that, just in case y'all try to mess with that, because I was trying it all night and it does not work. Height, we're going with 6'4". I was contemplating 6'5", but if you look at them defensive badges, we don't really necessarily have to have that extra inch because we have the stats. And we're going to have 10 defensive badges to help us out. So for the weight, we're going to go down to minimum weight. That's why I picked the built frame. Wingspan, this is key. So I know it seems to drop your stats when you go up, but you want that 82.3 wingspan to get this lock take. Because if you go down, I'm going to show y'all real quick. If you go down to the 81 point, I think it was 81.4, and then you go back to the screen, you can't get that lock take, so you gotta have it. All right, so keep that in mind. That is super key. And then right here, choose your takeover. We're going with the lock take. Now you possibly could go with sharp or anything else based on what you guys want, but me personally, I went with the lock take. And for our similarities, we got 3 players who don't play defense. So on to the badges. We only get 1 finishing badge, so we're just gonna put it on fancy forward. We only get 1. We got decent finishing stats, so we cool. Shooting, this was a little bit interesting, kinda. I just picked badges based off of how I know the demo works. So I went difficult shots, green machine, range extender, volume shooter, and I'm pretty sure I ended up with Deadeye. I was contemplating Deadeye or Tyler shooter, but I chose Deadeye. And then with these playmaking badges, you can just play around with these. It's all personal preference. I know for a fact I went with handles for days, quick first step, space creator, tight handles, and I'm pretty sure I went with downhill and unpluckable. So you don't need unpluckable Hall of Fame if you're trying to test out a build. They don't really reach that much, and over dribbling this year is not the move, at least not in the demo it is. We'll have to wait and see for when the game comes out, but this is based on a personal preference. I did ankle breaker in the video yesterday and got no ankle breakers, so I went with downhill just so I could push the ball up court and try to get shots off, or as many shots as I could. And then on to the defensive badges. Clamps go, intimidator go. I went with pickpocket because I knew I was finna be spamming it up in that game. I'm trying to get y'all some defensive clips, show how OP it is. And then for the last one, I went with tireless defender because your player does 2 dribbles and he's out of shape. So those are the badges that I chose. Now in this gameplay, I'll be the first to admit, this was like 4 in the morning or so, and I was falling asleep in between quarters, to be honest. But early on, I got my takeover. I got my takeover super early, to be honest. And I've been trying out builds since, you know, the demo came out. I've been testing a lot of shot creator builds. So when I was playing this gameplay, when I got my takeover the first time, I thought I had a shot creator takeover. And so at the end, you're probably gonna see my shooting percentages and stuff. They probably ain't looking right? And that's, sorry about that, but hey, I thought I had a different takeover on up until like the second half once I got my other one. But aside from that, obviously the scoring is going to be great. You got 20 shooting badges, you have 20 playmaking badges. Once you learn how to dribble, because this dribble system, the players move kind of similar to how they did last year, but the controls are very different. So once you get that down, those two will go hand in hand together, and you're really not concerned about that side of the floor. But on defense, this is going to be great if you're somebody who, honestly, I'll put it like this. If you know how to play defense, you're going to be goated. If you're really not that great at playing defense, this will help you out, because not only do you have the badges, you have the stats that actually go hand in hand with it. So it's not like you just finessed a couple extra defensive badges, because you can do that messing around with the defensive rebounding at the bottom. But no, you have legit good defensive stats all across the board. And once everybody learns how to really like dribble and stuff like that, which is going to take some time, you're gonna be a really good defender. Now, one thing I learned throughout this gameplay is that bump steals are insane. Like, bump steals, we can just say it's the sliders. Maybe they'll fix this, maybe they won't, but the bump steals seem like way easier to get than they were last year. And once I did get my lock take the second time around, I was running up and spamming people consistently, and I did not get a single foul. So I don't know if that's good, or I don't know if that's bad. I'm talking about, I'm running up to the bigs, I'm running up to people that have court, and I'm just spamming, okay? Regardless if it's a bump steal or not, even if I didn't get the steal, I didn't get a foul. So we will see how that works out once the game comes out. That may be a good thing, and like I said, it may be a really bad thing. But I think defense is going to be super key this year, and it's going to be back on top, especially early on while people are learning how to dribble. And lastly, I'll talk about the finishing, because you were only getting one finishing badge. So I know some of you might be like kind of worried about that or concerned about, and maybe shy away from making the build. To me personally, it wasn't a big deal. This player still does dunk. You do have a good driving layup and driving dunk stats, but you just don't have the extra finishing badges. Realistically, I don't know how many point guard builds that are built like this will be attacking the rim like that. It just depends on how good you are, and like if you know how to finesse and score like that. Look at that shot, man. That's terrible. But overall, I think this is going to be a really good build, and it's going to be a problem. All right, so especially on twos, I think this will be OP. You know how to ISO and cook up, and you're going to lock up your man anytime you miss. And then even if you have an inside big man, I think you'll still be able to be fine, because like I said, you're getting 20 shooting badges, and you should be able to get to your spots, which are 20 playmaking. So let me know what you guys think about this build. This is a build I'm also contemplating making this year. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.